It is the Flow Friday Night Sports Show. Let's check out Western Eyre netball to get us started today. They're back in action now. 2 games in round 1 over the weekend. The West Coast Hawks were involved, and Reanna Freeman, the premiership coach, reigning champs, the Hawks. They're 1 from none, or 1 from 1, I should say. 1 from none doesn't make any sense. How are you, Reanna?
Very well, thank you. And you?
1 and none is what I probably should have said. You had a win anyway.
We certainly did. It was a very hot start to the year, I tell you. I don't think anyone, any of the girls or me as a coach was organised or ready for that hot day that we had at Pinipi, and I think it was the same at Wirrala. Everyone was saying it was quite the hot day, but we came out firing and had a really good win, played the Blues. First quarter, we were up by 10. Took it out to 17 at half-time and then finished the game with a 37-goal win. So Hawks obviously very happy with that win, but also it's got to be said, Blues had 4 of their absolute guns out. And, you know, anyone that knows the game of netball, there's 7 on the court, so they had over half their girls not on the court on Saturday. So I think it'll be a very different team when we verse them next time.
As you would expect for those footballers out there, that's the equivalent to 12 of your 22 out of the days preceding. So, look, you're right. They'll be better next time you play them, the Blues. I think we're expecting them to be in the mix, aren't we?
Absolutely. Look, I look at the girls that weren't there on Saturday. Your Taylor Collins and Hayley Clayton, they're both brilliant defenders. Cassie Grenfell, she's a beautiful player too, so they'll be massive additions to their team. Airlie O'Brien, who is in their team and was there Saturday, she played quite well on Saturday. And also Hollywood, who's their coach and goalie this year. She had a really good match up against Alana Beard for the Hawks. McKenna Reedy was the Anzac medal winner for that game for the day. She played a phenomenal game in centre, as I think she always does, and I haven't seen her have a bad day yet. And it's got to be mentioned that Nadi Beard for the Hawks actually hurt her thumb very early in the second quarter, and young Shay Chanawa played her, so she's still actually a 15 and under, she's only 14. She was sitting on our bench, and she came up and played pretty much a full game in wing defence and played beautifully, so well done, a little shout out to Shay for that.
Outstanding. So, good start to the year for the reigning champs. They're away, 1 and none. And the other game at Wirrala was a beauty. Match of the round stuff, this one. Thevenard taking on the home side Wirrala, and they rolled the Bombers.
They did. So I think Wirrala might take a little bit to get settled, and I do repeat myself because I have said this every year. Wirrala are slow to warm and always have been. They always start a little bit slower at the start of the year, takes them a little while to get settled, work everything out, and then they build to become an absolute quality side that we've known for years. So I was pretty stoked to hear that this was a really nice, tight and close match. That always is exciting in A-grade when you know you've got good competition across the board. Lindsay Denton, who has put herself in B-grade for Sevi this year, had to play A-grade, and of course came away with the Anzac medal, playing half a game in keeper and half a game in defence. And I am not surprised, and I think anyone that's seen Lindsay play would say the same. So I did tell her she might as well stay up there, but I'm not sure that that's going to be the case. So they're not the kind of girls that would get disappointed with the loss. They just sort of move on and wait for the next game. And they'll have Emma's, congratulations to Emma. She's had a little baby girl, so I think we'll see her back on the court at some stage. So that'll be a massive in for Wirrala as well. It
will be. And look, as far as Lindsay Denton goes, coming out of semi-retirement is all the rage these days. You're simply the best! Just what I'd heard. I had to find some way of working that in there. After our chat last week, I had to go and find the clip.
Oh, look, I was going to set you up when we look at this week's preview. I was going to make sure I gave her a really good rap, but you've used it now, so she'll just have to miss out for this week's preview.
No, it's fine. We'll find another way to work it back in. Look, let's have a look at round 2, the West Coast Hawks. You got the bye.
We do, so we're playing Kaniva, so we'll sit on the sidelines and cheer on the rest of the teams on Saturday.
Right. Yep, well, your A-grade side has the bye. That's right. There'll be other matches played throughout the day.
Yep, that's right.
All right, so the A-grade matches that will be played, let's start at Thevenard, where we'll get our first look at the Western United Tigers. They come down the highway to Thevi. I think Thevi will start warm favourites to win that one.
Absolutely. They had a couple of girls out last week who are back in this week. Cassie Myers, she's just come back from having a baby last year, so she'll only get better as the season goes on. She'll be in the goal ring with Nikki Sleep, who's, I do believe she plays both ends, and she's a beautiful goalie. Plays a great game and a really good shot. Marnie will be running through the centre for Thevy, and then Hayley in defence. I'm not sure whether Lindsay will be back in there or in the B grade, but I think that Thevy side is looking quite good. Westies have got 6 out from their A grade last year, so a huge shake-up for them with people moving and whatnot in their side, and a few injuries and babies and whatnot. But one massive in for Westies is Durrani Hoffrichter. So anyone that's listened over the years would know Durrani's name from Midwest. She used to play for Western Districts, and she is a fabulous goalie, very tall, holds her body fantastic. So if they can get just a good feeder, that should set them up quite well. And young Rhea Sleep played B grade last year. She's only quite young. She'll come up in defence for them. So I think although Westies might be starting fresh this year, Bronwyn Workman's their coach. She'll get them up and going as the season goes on, but I would think Sevy would come out hot favourites here.
Bronny is a legend of that club. She'll have him up and going, don't worry. So
I agree.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to the other game where Wirrala will head up the highway and take on the Blues in Ceduna. The Blues obviously will get a few back.
Yeah, they will. So Cassie and Holly will be in goals this week, and you'd have a defensive lineup of Taylor Collins, Georgia, and Hayley Clayton. So a very different looking side. I think, I'm not sure how much court time these girls have had at training, whether they've got things running smoothly or whether it's still a work in progress, but they'll be quite strong. I'm assuming Cindy Best, your old favourite.
Sorry.
You're on. That was quick. Well done.
I was waiting. Finger at the ready.
I'm assuming Cindy's playing defence as Hayley's still out with her Achilles with Sarah Evans. So there'll be some really good defenders coming up against Holly and Cassie in goals. And Sophie Trezona, who's the ever ready, she's such a reliable and fabulous goal attack. She'll come up against quite a strong defensive side. And I believe Alicia Perry, the new player to Wirrala this year, is a goalie. And I haven't laid eyes on her, but I have heard good reports. So I actually think this will be a cracking game this week. This will be game of the round.
Yep, I agree. Who wins it? I'm going to tip the Blues.
Well, yeah, I'm going to tip the Blues too. I've definitely seen parts of their game that I thought were fabulous last week, just obviously missing all those key players.
All right. That's not all, though. We've got a few other things before we wrap it up today. What else have you got for me?
Sunday we have our first junior association trial, so at Smoky. Just wishing everyone best of luck and thank you in advance to all the volunteers, because it takes quite a bit to get that up and running. Coinciding with our trials, we've actually got lots of Umpires Workshops, so encouraging anyone who wants to pick up a whistle to jump online and register. It's not very often we get the guys over from Adelaide. I think they've listened to us whinge enough, and they're actually stepping up and supplying some umpiring mentoring on Saturday and a workshop on Sunday. So get around that. And last but not least, our very own, when I say our very own, I mean Hawke's very own, Chloe Evans, is off to Whyalla for the weekend for her very first Thunderbirds Academy training. So I did tell her she's going to get a full 45-minute time slot Wednesday night so she can teach us everything she learned at the workshop. So pretty excited to see what she comes back with and see what she can do this year with the Thunderbirds Academy.
Strap a GoPro to her, mate. That's the way to go.
I've told her mother to get her phone out and video the whole thing.
Fair enough. Well, there'll be a few tricks coming back, I'm sure, but should be a cracking round of matches again in Western Eyre netball. Good luck to everyone hitting the courts this week, and Coach, enjoy putting your feet up.
Coaching the juniors, so I will still be there with my coach's hat on, but I will most definitely enjoy the afternoon off.
Good stuff. Well earned. Take it easy.
No worries. Thanks for having me.